strategic planning for your healthcare clinic. Let's talk through this and break down one or two different kind of things that you could be working through and show you some of the process that we might go through in helping you to break these down or think about how you could do this. Now, before I do get stuck into it, please smash the like, smash the subscribe button. It helps us to reach more people and to have a greater impact. Thank you very much for doing this. Strategic planning. So if you're looking at your strategic plan, what is it today? It is the 5th of July, 2024. So we've just started a new financial year here in Australia. Now, what you could be looking at right now are a few things around what's happening with the inflation at the moment and how much should we be increasing our prices. Now, I know you may be thinking, hey, a lot of my work could be in the NDIS and we haven't seen a price rise. It's been, what, 6-7 years now without a price increase. Okay, unless you're in psychology, nursing, etc., which we did see that recently. So considering there's been no price increase, a lot of clinics now are going, well, potentially, do we have to charge a gap? Okay, now I know we can't be doing this for NDIA managed clients if we're registered there, but for plan managed and self-managed, should we be charging a gap? And how can we navigate this ethically, morally, and tangibly? How does this actually work? Because if we think about it realistically, our expenses are going up. Electricity way up, rent way up. Okay, team are getting paid more. They're asking to be paid more, and we want to be able to pay them more. We want to be able to reward them for the great work that they do. It's not easy what we do. Like, it is hard at times. It's quite hard. There's an emotional toll that comes from working in healthcare. Okay, there's that empathy. You're always working with people. You're always listening. You're always concentrating. Okay, and that really can take it out. So we want to reward our team as well. So keeping all these things in mind, we can't just, with the same 193.99 in the NDIS, continue to pay more and more for all of these other things. So what does that look like? So let's say, hypothetically, you were going to implement a gap payment, $10, $15, $20, whatever it may be. So if you were going to do this, how would you do it? To break it down and go, all right, we're going to start doing this on, let's say, October 1st, right? The end of Q1 fiscally. So then if we work our way backwards from there, what would need to happen? How much notice would we want to be giving people? If we are working with people who we feel like may struggle a little bit there, what could we be doing in order to support those people? What would be fair and reasonable? Would we have it the same across the board? Would we make exceptions? We have to really understand these things ahead of time. We have to work on scripting with our admin team. We have to work on scripting with our therapy team. Okay, and we need to help them to understand why we're making this change, because we need our team to be on board. We need admin and we need therapists. We need everyone on board with what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so they really need to understand the deep why behind it. Okay. Then we need to think about how are we going to tangibly do this. So how do we take those payments? Think about how you take payments now. How would you take those payments? Because you don't necessarily want to add a huge admin load on. Let's say you're doing home visits or whatever it may be. You don't want to add a huge admin load that then offsets the fact that you are increasing those prices, okay, those fees. And so you really have to work your way back and go, all right, probably 2 months beforehand, you need to start doing all of these things with your team. You need to start, maybe have a team day and go through the why, and then go through, this is what it's going to look like for the rollout. And we're going to roll it out on October 1st. And we may want to give people 28 days notice, 3 to 4 weeks notice. And then any complaints, any problems, have time to be able to sort those out before you actually make that change or you implement that change. Okay. And start to get a little bit of feedback from the market. And I've seen some clinics already do it. And look, the more preparation and the more work with the team beforehand, I can tell you, the better it's worked out. So that's how we might break down something like that. And if we look at, well, what's the bigger picture? What's the why behind doing that? Okay. It's so that we can actually continue to maintain a high quality of service delivery, high quality of care, at the same time as being able to account for all the increases in the costs of running a business. And they have gone up a lot over the past 6 years. I guarantee you that. And so that's the challenge there. And it's breaking down, how would you do that? Now, if we break down another potential challenge or a potential strategic action that a lot of people are working on at the moment, if we look at the musculoskeletal world, so your physio, chiro, osteo, myo, etc., EP, a lot of them, those sorts of clinics at the moment are looking at new clients. So how can we be generating more new clients into the clinic? Now, One of the reasons why it's getting a little bit more challenging with new clients in many areas is because the cost of living has gone up. Okay, so there's less disposable income. Now we also do know that during times of recession, less disposable income, healthcare doesn't really see the same drop as other areas, but there are still challenges that are posed by it. Okay, and so it's looking at going, well, how can we improve the amount of new clients through the door? So we might pick one thing and focus on it. So let's say we're going to pick referrer relationships, and let's say we make this a target or a strategic plan. We're going to make a strategic plan around it for this quarter. So by October 1st, how many referrals do we want coming from our professional referrers? So first we need to know how many have we had over the last quarter. So let's say, for instance, on average, we averaged 3 per week over the last quarter. A reasonable goal, maybe 5 to 6 per week based on, I guess, the size of the clinic. So let's say we want to double that, get that to 6. So we might be looking at, well, the first thing is, do we need more referral partners or do we need better relationships with the referral partners we have? Okay, so it's a bit of analysis of, what are we currently doing? Has it been at 6 before? If so, what were we doing then? Is it slowly increasing over time? If so, how can we speed that up? What are some of the barriers to patients being referred through? What would make it easier to refer through? What's the messaging that we have? Right? A lot of the time, people don't refer through because they don't know you have room. They don't know that you help with that certain thing. So, how can we improve how we communicate with our referral partners? And then another part of that is how are we systemizing or creating a framework around building that relationship? Because when a referral partner chooses to refer through, a lot of the time it's based off of the personal relationship more than do they think you're the best at what you do. A lot of the time it's do they really like you and trust you? And so how can we build that relationship so they like you more and they trust you more? Because if they like and trust you, they will refer through, whether you're the best or not. Now, obviously, we want to be the best as well, but keep that in mind that most people don't know what makes the best physio or the best chiro or the best osteo or the best EB, right? I'd say most physios, I'm a physio, most physios don't even know what makes the best physio, okay? And what I believe makes the best physio is going to be different to what another physio thinks as well. So it's very subjective there. So if we focus so much on being the best, we're leaving a lot on the table there. So we want to focus on being fantastic at what we're doing, getting great outcomes, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're building that trust. And so creating a spreadsheet or a framework around how can we build trust with referral partners. Also, if you would like a copy of how we systemize the framework for building referral partner relationships, send me an email at peter@clinicmastery.com. There's no .au on the end of that one. And just ask, hey, can I have the referral partner spreadsheet? And I will flick that one through to your email free of charge. You can have that one on us. Now, that's just two examples of how we could break that down. Now, you do want to make sure that that's sustainable over the quarter. You're not trying to do everything in one week. You're building this out over the entire quarter, and you want to have a specific measurable goal. What are you going to achieve by, well, October 1st? Where are you now? So you've spent time analyzing where you've been, where you are now, and then you need to be able to see essentially what is the stepped progress moving forwards, and how are you going to make that meaningful change sustainably in your clinic. Because the last thing I was saying now is time and time again. Now, I've done this before in my own business in the early days, and many business owners do across all different disciplines, is you create a framework or a system, you implement it, it's fantastic, it works, it gets results, you move on to the next thing, and then that no longer gets done. And so your business sort of goes through this sort of up and down phase. Well, you move on to the next thing, does really well, but that drops off, and then you've got to come back, and it feels like you're juggling. You're just trying to keep these balls in the air. So a key part of all of this is once you've built this system, then you need to delegate authority and accountability, right? If that's you, you need to make sure that there's accountability on you to do that. Or if that's one of your team members, give them the relevant authority and the accountability in order to be implementing that. And one key thing people will always ask is, how can I make someone accountable when I give them something like this? And I'd say the number one way to do this is a monthly report. Have them send through on the last Friday of every month a report just on how the system has been implemented, what are the things that were challenges, and what are the opportunities for the next month. It's simple, it's relatively easy, it doesn't take too long, but it ensures accountability because people are focused on it. I hope this helped. I hope this gets you thinking strategically for your strategic plan for the 24-25 financial year. and I will see you in the next video, my friends.